Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It has been a long while, but I am back, as Michael Jordan would say. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Maybe I'll disappear again for 3 more years. But for now, we're going to go ahead and talk about The Last of Us Part 2, the TV series, and why it sucks. Now, I wasn't making videos when Season 1 was in production and running, and I actually really liked The Last of Us Season 1. It actually kind of got me into The Last of Us universe, and I liked it quite a bit. Now, I don't think the same thing can be said for The Last of Us Season 2 TV show. It was just overall, it felt like a nothing burger. It felt like I was eating filler the whole time, like I was having appetizers, but it was all you can eat salads at a sports bar. Now, there was a lot of bad going on, but there was also a lot of good. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the good. Parts that I think were good, I kind of liked episode 1 as kind of a slow start into getting used to the characters again and reintroducing ourselves. I think it had been like about 2 years since we last were working with these characters based on the TV, and I thought the first episode back was a solid, let's get back to normal. I also thought episode 2 was pretty good as well. I thought the siege on Jackson by the Cordyceps was a lot of fun to watch, and I really enjoyed like the flamethrowers, and I mean some of the logic didn't really make any sense, but it was a good, turn your brain off, let's watch some action type of moment in the TV show. I also, while I didn't enjoy Joel actually dying, I thought they did a pretty good job of doing it and making it seem reasonable, I guess. I mean, Abby obviously wasn't ripped, and I felt like that kind of made a lot of what she was able to accomplish pretty unbelievable. And I think that'll be seen more in the next season where they flip to her point of view. I also thought the way that they actually ended up killing him was kind of a letdown, though, because in the game he gets his head, just watermelon basically, and this they just stab him in the neck, and it's just kind of like a really weak way to die for such a brutal torture that he had to endure. I will say after episode 2 though, all the things I really liked about this show just kind of ended right there. The overall pace of the show kind of just grounded to a halt, and it really felt just not fun to watch. It felt like every episode was Ellie and Dina from that point riding a horse or walking through a city, and honestly being incredibly dangerous with what they were doing. I remember watching season 1, and a lot of the things that Ellie and Joel had to do, they had to be pretty careful. Like, for example, when they stopped on the way to Kansas City, they had to pull off into the woods and hide there because there might be raiders, traffickers, whatever. Another example of just weaponized incompetence is the term I'm going to use for it, is the season finale. When they're at the theater, they just had all the lights on. I mean, it was a dark, stormy, rainy night. The one thing that is a total contrast to darkness is the light. So why are we leaving all the lights on and inviting attention? And obviously it did happen because, Abby shot one of the guys in the face and has Joel and not Joel, but Tommy and Ellie at gunpoint. Another part of the show that really sucked for me, and I hate to say it, is I just don't think Bella Ramsey as Ellie in this season worked as well. In a lot of ways, it felt like we were continuing the Ellie of season 1 without aging her at all. And, it's like a 5 or 6 year time jump from there, and it doesn't feel like Ellie has changed in the slightest. She still seems happy-go-lucky after watching Joel get, murdered right in front of her. It felt like their whole time in Seattle was, her and Dina just getting to know each other for the first time, and we're watching that instead of, let's focus on the plot here. We're not here to have a relationship. We're here to find the people that killed Joel and get revenge. I just didn't buy that they were actually making Ellie older. It seemed like Ellie was, if there was no time jump, I could get it. But, Ellie has been with Joel for how long now? Seems like she's picked up 0 survival skills or instincts. And it honestly it just seems like, how are we going to get Ellie to survive the episode this time? What sort of inconvenience or random stroke of luck are we going to get to have Ellie's character survive? This season of the show really just lacked tension outside of the first and second episode, because if you knew what was going to happen, you could have all that tension there. But after then, it just really felt like there was going to be a MacGuffin or a... Honestly, my disappointment is pretty immeasurable at this point. I actually kind of like The Last of Us 2 story, which it might be a controversial opinion, whatever. I mean, I kind of get it. It's not really the most creative way to tell a story, but I kind of liked it, and I felt like the show really did a disservice to all of the fans who enjoyed The Last of Us Part 2 And honestly, it did a disservice to all the fans that didn't like The Last of Us Part 2. There was a lot of opportunities here to improve the story and not, make things worse. But I feel like the show only made The Last of Us 2 story worse. If I was to compare The Last of Us Season 1 versus Last of Us Season 2, which I might as well right here since I missed the opportunity to do a Season 1 review, I would give Season 1 a 7.5 out of 10. I really liked it. It was a really endearing, heartwarming story. And I would go ahead and give The Last of Us Season 2 a 3.5 out of 10. All right, well, if my thoughts kind of wrapped up there in a bow, I would like to turn the time over to you guys. What did you guys like about The Last of Us Part 2? Is it better than Season 1? I want to hear all you guys have to say about it in the comments section down below. Let's get a discussion going. I will be replying to as many of you as I possibly can. And with all that in mind, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, boys.